Yeah, to be honest, when I was driving now to the event, I was thinking now during the last 2 years, during the pandemic time, it's maybe the second event when I go there and we have a physical meeting face to face. So and now I feel that we need also a kind of transition into again into normality where we have this kind of direct interaction. So very happy to be here. Also exchange ideas, thoughts, and also I prepared some of the thesis around the topic of outpatient treatment. So certainly here we talk about digital health, and my focus is really in the context of how the situation of outpatients will be changed in that regard in terms of what can be improved and what are the challenges, also what are the obstacles that we need to address in the upcoming period of time. So with that, I would say just to give you a glimpse of what we go through in the next 20-25 minutes. It's really about, first of all, understanding the entire ecosystem. So we talk about the entire healthcare ecosystem. And then also understanding the outpatient perspective, because certainly the difference is that here we talk about people treated with certain type of medical therapy also outside the hospital during a longer period of time. And there are certainly specific conditions around that, and also what kind of digital solutions are relevant here and will improve the well-being of this kind of patients. And also talking about obstacles. Yeah, we talk a lot about digital technologies, about digital health perspective, but still we see a lot of challenges, so that we transform also all these opportunities into a more sustainable models which are integrated into the healthcare systems. Yeah. So with that, let's jump in, and maybe before going into the topic, very short. So I'm from Fresenius Kabi, responsible for the digital area within the company, and Fresenius Kabi it's a member of the Fresenius Group, healthcare group. The focus of Fresenius Kabi, so also which kind of patients we are focusing on in terms of our products, our solutions, our services. We talk about patients in chronic or critical conditions. So as I mentioned, either in the hospital, so like in the ICU units, or patients which are going through a more advanced therapy. It could be then within oncology, it could be within autoimmune diseases, it could be within chronic kidney diseases, and so on. So this kind of treatments, which implies also special conditions, and also when we look to these patients, they need also special attention in terms of how to treat them. So that's the focus of the company, and we provide a set of pharmaceutical products, clinical nutrition products, as well as medical devices around these patients. So here, these are the main business segments from the company. So pharmaceuticals, this is a set of pharmaceutical products, the generics, APIs, biosimilars products within several therapeutic indications. Medtech, this is the device part where we have different kind of infusion technologies, transfusion technologies. It could be for blood transplantation, it could be for cell-based therapies, and so on. And then the clinical nutrition, dealing with patients either in maternal nutrition or parenteral nutrition, also focusing on the critical patients. Now, going into the outpatient perspective, what I wanted actually to share and discuss today, I wanted to describe the surrounding. Yeah? So the surrounding maybe in three different components. So the first one is the entire ecosystem, the healthcare ecosystem, which we also see in the last years. It's in transformation. So considering also the new models of treatment, either in ambulatory settings or in stationary settings, in the home care setting, and this is really a transformation which is ongoing, impacting all stakeholders in such ecosystem. So we talk here about the healthcare providers, how hospitals are organizing this kind of treatments, how the companies, how the pharmaceutical companies or medtech companies are dealing with transformation. So the innovation part is playing a huge role here in order to deploy the new models. The personalization aspect around precision medicine is also one very important factor here, also which is impacting the outpatient setting. Yeah. So that's when we talk about the entire ecosystem, the healthcare ecosystem. The other component, technology. Yeah? So without going into the details there, but certainly just in order to have an understanding, let's take and compare with other industries. So see the role of the technologies, computing power, the IoT perspective, so Internet of Things, but here in this case we talk about Internet of Medical Things, the connectivity component here, but also the role of artificial intelligence. Here, taking like the mobility business or the banking sector or other industries, we see that these technologies are playing a huge role in bringing changes in the type of services, in the type of solutions which are provided. Certainly when we come to the healthcare, then due to the conditions around healthcare sector, it's more regulated. You have to deal with medical conditions, patients, data privacy, and all that actually hindering also the potential of these technologies to penetrate into various parts of this sector. So certainly bringing some limitations, but still playing huge role in the transformation. So that's the technology part. We talked about the healthcare ecosystem part. Then coming to the costs, which is also a huge challenge in healthcare systems. If we just look to the German healthcare system, so just to get an understanding, and here we see that new value-based models are emerging, are coming in order to optimize the entire outcome. So what kind of outcome we expect, how we measure this outcome, and with which costs these outcomes will be associated. Yeah. So the emergence of value-based healthcare models will be also realized or will be enabled also by digital technologies and by digital solutions. And just to give you an example here, an analysis done also in Germany, what impact will digital solutions play in different parts of healthcare delivery. And you see here if it's about the interaction, the online interaction, or it's about the workflow automation. So the role of intelligent automation in optimizing the workflows, in automating different parts of the processes, but also the decision making. So here we see the possibilities based on, for example, use of data, utilization of data, and use of artificial intelligence, that the type of decision making also is impacting in terms of how to support healthcare professionals, how to support physicians in order to to make a more accurate and more precise medical decisions. And the numbers are here showing also the huge potential, how then the entire outcome will be then impacted by these kind of solutions, also reflecting directly on reduction of costs. Something to really to be considered when we now come to the patients outside hospitals. So the question is how these three elements, the ecosystem technologies and new value-based models will be changing the situation of outpatients. So maybe going back to the company profile. So as I mentioned, Fresenius Kabi is focusing on critical and chronic patients, and normally after having certain type of treatment in the hospital, they will be then treated at home during a longer period of time. It could be then 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 1 year. And the challenge is actually how to manage these patients from home. So how to ensure that they get the required service, they get the required support, they get guidance, they get the information about also the result of their therapies. So it's really a challenging topic, so that we have as a company our own so-called home care services, where we also have HCPs, nurses going into these patients and supporting these patients to go through these therapies. And here still the question is, we see a huge potential, because also the number of these patients increasing dramatically. So again, going back to the value-based model. So the hospitals, after the treatment, send patients to home. So the number of these patients increasing. I just put here a reference also again in Germany in terms of numbers, but also at the same time how we ensure that we cover also all these patients in terms of that we have enough nurses, that we have enough HCPs to be able to go to these patients and provide required support. So that's also here one of the huge challenge is how to manage the reimbursement. So if we have still, certainly we have now new DIGA model in Germany from the regulation side, but it's still a lot of open topics. So how to consider the cost coverage, the responsibility of the patient who is taking care of certain part of the treatment, and these challenges still to be addressed also for all stakeholders. We as a company certainly we are interested in terms of how to manage these challenges in a way that we improve the service at the same time. Also, we can use and utilize the potential of digital solutions and penetrate that into the sustainable model together with healthcare providers. Certainly, health insurance perspective also playing a very important role, looking for also having digital solutions to measure the outcome, to optimize the cost, and also address the quality of care through the entire healthcare chain. And considering digital solutions, and here it's just I took one example, a solution that we are providing in very specific case. It's in the area of kidney diseases, chronic kidney diseases. So what I want to say with that, there are huge number of applications, and it could be then online applications, it could be mobile applications, either to guide patients or support patients, provide information to patients, and also specific applications here. In this case, it's also addressing outpatients that can use this application in order to get required guidance through the therapy for chronic kidney disease. And I can mention like thousands of this kind of solutions. So the question is here, in the entire in this entire ecosystem, how to create an interconnected journey for the patient. So from the patient perspective, when we see all these kind of applications and services around the patient, so it's a kind of very challenging. It's a kind of a jungle of services around them, but why the patient should use exactly this kind of application, or I mean, that's the question also that we face in our daily business. Are we addressing then directly the patients themselves, but they are in critical conditions? Are they able at all to use the potential of digital technologies? Are they able to use the connectivity? Are they able to actively also interact with HCPs and nurses? Or we address their relatives around the patient in order to improve the well-being of this patient. So these are certainly the questions. And at the end, I think what we as entire industry or as entire healthcare sector needs to answer is the question how to create that journey, how to create such interconnected patient journey. Connecting also the patient journey in the hospital. So for the patient coming into the hospital, then after the discharge, going home, then which kind of information need to be integrated, which kind of information needs to be provided, and then how it's reflected into the type of service that, or the type of the information that the patient is needing. So here again, one example of actually we need to consider this entire journey and what are the touch points where the patients need a certain kind of support, and that will be actually a question that we all need to answer in the upcoming years, because currently looking to all these kind of approaches that we see, it won't be sustainable, to be honest, to be honest in terms of do we see scalability here? So do we see also the integration, required integration level here to make these models successful? And that's for me still a very open question, to be honest. Certainly different countries, they have different maturity level, they have different regulatory requirements and conditions, but still this question will still be open. Now, in terms of actually making that realistic, so what are the challenges, what are the questions to be addressed? From the technology point of view, that's not an issue. So here it's not really about technology, because when we look now to the environment and also how to realize this kind of digital solutions, it could be then a simple app, it could be an app providing AI-based decision support. It could be then a solution, Internet of Things, for connecting medical devices, but from the technology platform, it's becoming commodity. So here, the point is that all also global platform providers, they have their models in order to realize this kind of solutions. And specifically, when we talk now again about addressing the outpatient, so talking about remote management, remote monitoring. So the technology is becoming commodity, and here just example like what different global cloud providers are offering, but also we can talk about many other providers. Even now we taking now here in addition to known IT global players like Salesforce. So Salesforce, even they provide a healthcare platform with standardized models that could be easily deployed. Also, it could be local based and quickly realizing certain digital solution. But again, the point is, what are the conditions in order to make such application successful? Here we talk about then managing the required devices in order to get the right input, the right data to such application, or we talk about the integration. So again, the main challenge will stay in integrating all that into the as I mentioned, the entire patient journey, and at which touch point when this will be used and will be required. And certainly the limitations in terms of making that scalable. So even for companies like us, so like having addressing local needs in certain countries, because as a global company, we address specific market needs in various regions, in various countries, but asking ourselves how to make such application, such platform scalable, also to make it global, addressing the needs for this patient also available. And then the topic of data. We all talk about data since years, and here still, what's about the data ownership? And also, I know when we negotiate actually the conditions for data for specific application, it's just a nightmare. Just going through negotiations, agreements, and how to use data, the purpose of using. It's again looking to that. Still, here we need to find a way in order to be more efficient in this case too, and certainly making now data available through more and more global cloud platforms. It will be changing also the rules of the game. So in the past, I remember like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, we were negotiating with a university clinic access to data. It was just impossible because it was just local data and it was just closed. No possibility at all to kind of finding a base for collaboration. And we see that this is changing, still difficult, still challenging, but it's changing, and finding also the right technology approach in order to manage data on cloud platforms, because it's really managing the data in a more decentralized way, but still having clear rules, clear model of how to collaborate. That would be the key here. And certainly when we think about new approaches in terms of federated models, this is again changing the way how we act, not only as a company, because certainly we always think about IP, about protection, but in a such federated model, we need to think about what we would like to achieve jointly. So a kind of new type of partnership, new type of collaboration, and what kind of infrastructure will be needed. So certainly on, again, combining the governance, ownership, collaboration, and then the required infrastructure to make sure that access to the data is ensured, that we have the privacy around it, that we have the conformity to regulations and to the rules, and we also use that in a proper way. So that's the, again, in addition to the technology access, in addition to the integration, then we need to deal with the data perspective accordingly. Yeah. So summarizing that in a way that what we need in terms of making these digital solutions successful in a sustainable way, specifically for outpatient. Yeah, so it's really a continuous change in a such environment. Yeah, how we deliver the required services, how we connect to patients, to HCPs, how we connect pharma products, medical products into these new models. And at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to improve the entire outcome in terms of medical outcome, and at the same time also making these models efficient in terms of reducing the overall costs. And that's actually when we talk about digital transformation and and the impact on patients. In this case, in the specific case that I tried to explain in my presentation here, we talk about the outpatient perspective. So that was a short overview. So thank you. I don't know if we have time for any direct questions, or we should take that later.
We have 3 minutes.
Okay.
So if anybody have questions, you are welcome.